Guys, again, thank you so much, and I appreciate you joining us for Local Wi-Fi Network Day 2 training. Today, as you know, is all about sales. Sales, sales, sales. We know that that's the core and the lifeblood of any business. So we're going to walk through a whole bunch of sales training today, different ways to position it, really how to make the most out of this opportunity and really take Local Wi-Fi Network and make a lot of money with it. So again, to recap what we just did yesterday, I want to make sure that everybody did your homework. Can you please just key in the chat if you did your homework or not? You know, you won't get punished. I just want to know if you guys actually did this, because it's important that you stay on this flow. It's going to keep you with the momentum that you currently have. So let me know if you guys have already joined the Facebook group, logged into the members area, got all your good downloads and marketing materials, started customizing them, or at least outsourced to somebody else to do that for you, and then started making a short list of family, friends, local business owners to target. So great. Actually, everyone, yes, a few people saying much more homework to do. Yeah, but you know what? It's great that you guys got to start. We see almost everybody saying yes, so this is very good, very, very good. And that's day one, as you know. Today it's all about really making more with it. And again, I want to make sure everybody does have access to the Local Wi-Fi Network /members area. I know that we double checked yesterday. Everybody seems to have it, but if you don't, again, just let us know. And everybody should also be in that Facebook group, the special VIP one. If you're on the normal one, you can actually drop out of that. We have a public one, and then we have the VIP. Be in both, but all the real good content is going to be in the VIP one. So definitely want to make sure you're in that. Now, the 4-day course training, as you know, yesterday we went through the intro to hotspot marketing. Today, we're all about the sales strategy. Call it a little crash course, but we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in relation to making money with the local Wi-Fi network, why our clients need it specifically, and the value proposition and pricing, positioning, how to really have your clients see this as something that they need right away. And then obviously on day 3, we'll talk about the control panel. On day 4, we'll talk about how to take that retargeting. So I'll go light on the advertising methods today, because we're going to be covering that on day 4. I'm going to really stay tight to more of the sales strategy today. So today's agenda, why Wi-Fi? We're going to be covering some of the main stats. Some of them you've seen, very few of them. I have some extra good stuff about why Wi-Fi, why the opportunity, why our clients need a social hotspot. The benefit statement as well, how to put together your benefit statement and actually add value right away in your first word. You're adding value to the client. We'll talk about the needs overview, a little strategy of how to get that going for you. We'll tell you the secrets to finding hot leads. Some of you may have seen this with brick and mobile before, but this is different. This is really something specific. This opportunity, as you know, mobile marketing is great, but this is something that is next level. You guys love to hear next level stuff. And to find hot leads is easier than ever, as I'll show you. Talk about the selling strategy, when you sell them, exactly different ways to sell it to them. The business model overviews, the different ones that we use today and the different ones you could use. And actually, you can use multiple of them. Pretty cool stuff. As well, we'll show you how to integrate it into your existing business, some recommendations. Another homework assignment for day 2, and Q&A at the very end. So again, we're going to be flagging some of your major questions. Kind of save them to the end if you can. If it's pressing and you think it's valuable at the time, shoot it in there. Otherwise, we'll be kind of holding to the end on that. All right, so why Wi-Fi? Well, Wi-Fi is extremely important. It's the internet. Internet is a thing that is pretty much taking over the world. It influences decisions, Wi-Fi. Consumers want it, and everyone uses it. 79%, 64, and 63. You'll have these slides as well, so I won't spend too much time on them, but just understand that everyone uses Wi-Fi all the time. And it's important because most tablets, 86% of tablets require Wi-Fi. I know I have 2 iPads. Neither of them have a 3G or 4G connection. They all require Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is also everywhere. 75% of smartphone users use Wi-Fi on their devices, and 77%, at least 45 or over, are influenced by in-store Wi-Fi availability. So I know when I travel, as you know, I go to places that have Wi-Fi. It really does affect where I'm going to go and spend my money. And what would you do for free Wi-Fi? When asked, customers said that they would, 84% of them said that they would be willing to see advertisements in exchange for that free Wi-Fi. And they also use that to watch demos, complete surveys, view advertiser stuff. And they do this gladly. I mean, they'll do this in exchange for the Wi-Fi instead of paying. Paying is kind of out of style these days. And when asked why people use Wi-Fi at events, 55% of them want a faster connection. And connection speed and data is very important. And remember that, because a lot of people more and more, as they rely on data, they run out of their data plans, or they're stuck at the 2 gig or 4 gig stuff, and they don't actually want to use their data anymore. It's kind of a fear of data, FOD. guess you can call it. People don't want to use it anymore, and they want to avoid the data charges, and it becomes a bigger and bigger factor. That is primarily the fact when people go to hotels, 38% that said they'd rather get free Wi-Fi over a free breakfast. I know that when I travel, Wi-Fi is expensive, and especially when I'm going to a hotel to stay, spend $400 on Wi-Fi and, $400 on a hotel, and then have to pay $20 for Wi-Fi, that becomes a little bit difficult. Difficult to swallow and difficult to understand. And guys, I'm running through these quickly because I did cover these before. I just want to kind of recap to those who haven't seen them. Wi-Fi also makes a difference. 44% of all age groups say that the availability of in-store Wi-Fi influences where they shop. They can also leverage it for marketing. Most people say they have no problem getting promotions and emails while they're using the in-store Wi-Fi. And at the end of the day, ran through that super quick, the money is moving to Wi-Fi. And that's the most important part. All those trends, I could be sitting there and pump 1,000 of those slides. You get it. Wi-Fi is important, okay? But the money is actually moving to Wi-Fi. Now, you guys have seen this slide before. These are global internet-connected device shipments. These are internet-connected. So look at the tablet portion over here. And remember that 75% of these smartphone users use Wi-Fi. That growth is literally set to explode. And smartphones right now are number one for Wi-Fi. 2013 is set to be a pivotal year for Wi-Fi. This was published last year. But if you look at it, 41% of smartphones, 40% of laptops use Wi-Fi in public places. And a lot of these high, big brand, bandwidth networks are being put up. But the problem is local business owners don't benefit from it, right? This is the global number of public hotspots, okay? We're set to see like massive growth. And that's actually, I believe, this is also a fairly old slide. We're going to look at getting you guys some more updated numbers. This was forecasted years ago. Now I've seen actually another one recently that was like off the chart. Truly, this was like really explosive. And everyone knows that any local business owner, even like any business owner, is now putting Wi-Fi in their stores. It's pretty amazing. And you see this as well on the higher level when you're talking about, this is just one specific company actually, this is their forecast, selling large Wi-Fi equipment to the carriers, so to the Verizons of the world and the different kind of AT&Ts. They're also spending money on Wi-Fi infrastructure. The reason is there's this thing called data offloading, and as you know, everyone's using their phones. Smartphone and data is absolutely exploding. And the networks are getting stressed. Like I know in Canada here, we have 4G on Rogers. It actually is really fast. Like I get really fast connections. But when I travel down to the US, Verizon AT&T is horrible. Like if you guys agree, like let me know. Do you guys have problems in getting data on your phone? You want to check your email, want to watch a video. You're sitting there waiting, and I see these commercials, on TV. Yeah, blazing fast speeds, and then I go there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because in principle, if you have the number of users that they were supposed to have on it, sure. But nobody forecasted this explosive growth. Nobody thought that, smartphones are going to be, you're going to have more smartphones than people on Earth, right? That's just next, that's just it's going to blow everything away. So there's a term called data offloading. And what that does is basically all of the cellular networks are now investing in hotspots to take the stress off of the wireless network. And you see this is also set to completely explode. Guys, look. 2013 over here, 2017, like 20 times growth. I can't even calculate how large that number is, but it's going to be huge. And as you see here, this is a more updated stat. Wi-Fi hotspots are set to triple by 2015. These are real numbers. Like this was taken from the Wireless Broadband Alliance. This is the more updated number of the slide I showed you earlier, but it's explosive. You're going to see everyone using this, and you guys are in on the ground floor. So the local client mentality, we're going to jump right in here, like no fluff. We're going to go talk about exactly what you need to get out there and sell more local, social hotspots and, kind of build your local marketing network, as I'll show you at the very end. But the local client mentality, what is important? This is the human brain. And guys, I hope I'm not going too fast. I'm keeping the pace up here because obviously the replay will be available. But as well, there's just so much to cover today. I want to make sure that we get it all in without being here for like 4 hours. Okay, so how the human brain works. The human brain is programmed at its very core to maximize rewards, maximize pleasure, and minimize pain. So obviously pain points are social pain, social exclusion, not being treated fairly, all that stuff. And the rewards are like, having a good reputation, getting a pat on the back, winning a game, all that kind of stuff. People are drawn to maximizing pleasure and minimizing pain. And when you think of a local business owner, okay, that's a local business owner lying in her bed. You got to think, what keeps that local business owner up at night? Is it social media? Is she that night thinking, hey man, I don't think my Facebook page is properly optimized, or I don't think I have an app. I really want an app for my business. Or how about my Yellow Pages ad? I wonder when that rep's going to call me back. They don't care about this stuff. What that local business owner is thinking about at night, every night, is money. Okay, they don't care about how it's going to happen. They just want it to happen. And that really outlines what local business owners want. In general, they want to avoid the pain, right? Pain has a greater impact than pleasure. And for some people, local business owners have a lot on the line. So for them, the pain is very important. So in general, and this is, again, more baseline local marketing strategy, stuff that we teach to our other customers as well. And this has been proven over the years. Business owners fear not having enough customers. Okay, it's a big thing for them. If that dries up, that's a big problem. They also are worried about not enough reservations for restaurants. They are worried about their orders not increasing. They're unaware of their clients' needs. They're lost out of touch. They don't know who their customers are anymore. They're like, I knew where my customers were last week. Now I don't know anymore. They don't know how to connect with their customers. They have no way to say, hey, customer, I get you. I understand you. And I'm going to give you what you want. If I knew what you want, if I only knew what you want, or I knew who you were, I'd be able to offer you what I think you want, if that makes sense. But yeah, it worries them a lot. The reputation is very important. A lot of you who do reputation management know how important it is, the pride of a local business owner, having their clean windows, so to speak, having everybody exactly know who they are, and having a good reputation, a positive reputation. And they also fear going out of business. So taking all of these fears and really breaking them down and looking at what you have to do, generally speaking, at a highest levels, you have to gently identify how the Wi-Fi marketing, what you're about to tell them, is going to ease, avoid, and resolve the issues. Now, you don't so much put it in words. What you do, the reason I put these earlier is this is the underlying framework that everything you're saying is leading towards minimizing the pain and maximizing the pleasure. So you want to gently let them know how what you're about to tell them is going to really help those resolves. You also want to let them know that free Wi-Fi, for example, if you're speaking to a customer who has Wi-Fi in store, free Wi-Fi currently has some major problems. Excuse me, guys, I get a drink of water. So I'm just excited to teach you this stuff. So free Wi-Fi has some problems. And as we covered this yesterday or a couple days ago, the Wi-Fi has some major problems. It's most likely insecure if they're offering it. It requires a password, which is very annoying. They know that when they have to give a password away or require a customer to enter a password, really annoying. More often than not, it's slow. Now, I want to stress that our social hotspot will not increase the speed of their internet connection. What it will do is help control and mitigate who's using that internet. So it won't actually increase it. You got to have a high-speed internet connection to obviously make it work. But because of the open network and stresses that current networks have, they become slow. They also become limited. A lot of networks, let's say, will block things that shouldn't be blocked or not allow things. There's no point of that. And the owner gets nothing. The owner literally has no idea who their customer is. And that sucks. It completely sucks. Totally, like the customer is there, the business owner is giving away the free Wi-Fi. It's insecure. It's just like it sucks for everybody. And the business owner has no idea who they are, which leads to the stress and the fear. They are losing touch. They don't understand who their customers are anymore. And it's affecting their business every single day. What you have to do is break through that clutter. Okay, so as you know, when you are probably selling some kind of local marketing service right now, you got to get the attention. It's like ring the bell. You got to have the business owner see you, understand you, get you right away, and see your value off the top. This is likely what a local business owner looks like, right? They're likely bombarded with all kinds of requests every single day from people offering them the next best thing or the next shiny object. What you need to do is show them value. And what I'm going to do now is help you understand how to portray the value of a social hotspot, specifically how it works, how it can benefit them, and always remember what's important to them, okay? You want to maximize the pleasure and minimize the pain. And how is value measured? So a lot of people have the misconception of what value is. Is value getting something at a good price? Is it getting more than you bargained for? Or is it getting what you paid for? When I go to a restaurant, I don't buy the steak, I buy the sizzle. And I mean that very literally. I want to cook steak. I want it to be done right. I want the experience. I don't go there to buy a piece of meat. I go there to buy a piece of meat on my plate. I go there actually to buy a full stomach is what I'm buying. I'm buying there to alleviate my hunger. The same way as a hammer and nail, and guys, I'm being very basic here because I want you to understand the strategy behind this, right? So how is value measured? I'm not buying a hammer and a nail. I'm buying a picture on the wall. If you guys got that, right? So it's what the result is of the tool. It's not the tool itself. It doesn't matter that I have a hammer, okay? It doesn't matter that I have a Stanley brand hammer, a Black & Decker toolbox. It doesn't matter. What I'm buying is a picture on the wall. That is what I'm buying these things for, right? So your clients don't actually want a social hotspot. And I'll tell you right now, they don't care. They don't want it. When you speak to them, they're not going to want it right away. They actually don't know what it is. Never heard of it before. They're like, the what? I don't need one of those. They want results. Okay, they don't want some pie in the sky idea. They want results. If you can show them results, all right, I'll show you how to show them results here. If you show them results, they will buy and buy and buy and buy from you forever, truly, always. And I believe that. Like I want to show like you guys results and be very honest, because the more results I show and the more you guys deliver, the more money you make, the better I look, the more you'll buy from me in the future. So it goes hand in hand. It's very honest, right? You got to provide the results. Without result is nothing. And 3 letters, ROI. Remember those. Everything boils down to ROI, return on investment. I'm not going to pull up the Investopedia and explain what that is. You can just Google 3 letters ROI, read a lot about it, because it is the most important thing that your business will know, that your clients will know. If you have a positive ROI for your clients, if you trade, a dollar for $1.05 all day long. It's all about ROI. And that's what you have to keep in mind when you're positioning this to your clients. And your clients, what do they care about? Do they care that it's a wireless N300 IEE? No, they don't care about any of that stuff. They really don't. Don't tell them about it because they don't care. They may care about the 60 yards indoor range, the patio extender. Will this work? Yeah, you sure it'll work? Yeah, but don't tell them any of this stuff. This is for you guys to know. Okay, don't bombard them. Don't, unless they ask, give them the answer, right? But they don't care about this. You know what they care about? They care about that. They care about money. They want money. They're not in business to, unless everyone's passionate about what they do. But a lot of that is BS. You got to have passion in what you do, but you're not working for fun. You're working to make money, unless you're an artist or something like that. But most people out there are capitalists and are looking to make some money. And that's exactly the way the business owner is. And the business owner is used to wasting their money, right? So these are the pain points. Talk to them about their last radio ad and how many people heard it. Talk to them about the billboard that likely nobody looked at. Talk to them about the yellow pages that sits in my recycling bin every time I get it. Talk about the newspaper that are getting bought out by Amazon and literally crippling. I used to work for one. I know they're hurting hard. Fired everybody. Newspaper people don't buy newspapers anymore. TV. TV is all right. If you use it well. Outdoor billboards. I actually have a strategy I'll let you know about. The only time I will ever pay for an outdoor billboard, or actually a transit ad. The only time I will ever pay for a transit ad is when I do one strategy. I'll tell you about that at the very end today. But they're used to it. That's old news. Guys, they spent money on this. They don't need this anymore. And if you ever hear a client on the radio, see them on a billboard, see them on an ad, they're spending money, right? And that's opportunity. Every time you look around and you see these clients, you know these clients, you understand who they are, you really break down on who they are. That's opportunity. Okay, and that's that kind of opportunity, not Floyd Mayweather style, right? But again, I have this picture here to show you that he is good at what he does. He makes a lot of money doing it. Now, does he do it because he loves boxing? No, he does it because he loves money. And that's the way you guys have to think, and that's the way your clients think. Okay, it's not about the method of getting there; it's about the destination, and it's truly about where they want to go with their business. So here's why your clients need a social hotspot. Here's how to convert that value, right? So you understand what drives them. They want results. They want ROI. They want to make money at the end of the day. What you're going to do is show them how this social hotspot is going to help them do that. So you show them, number one, they understand social media. You can go into this. You have the slides as well. You guys can present this to them. But you let them know right away, look, you guys know social media is so big. You started off with this. We're going to bring social media to your establishment. Okay? We're going to do it at your location. We're going to have Facebook there, Google, LinkedIn, Twitter, and email all at your business. Okay? We're going to let people connect with their social network to access your business and show them slides like this. You have the headers. You can easily, in PowerPoint or anything, mock these up in minutes. Show them this kind of stuff. Be like, look, wouldn't that be cool? Like imagine that. Plant the seed. Wouldn't that even be cool? Imagine your people were able, and I didn't show all the slides here. You guys have seen these already. But imagine they'll be able to get more Facebook likes. You'll know your customer better. All these benefits, right? That is what the message is when you're speaking to any of these different targets. And again, you have these images, so I'm not going to run through each one, but you know the markets, right? They all exist, and they're all there. You got to let them know that this is a turnkey solution. Again, they may not even care about this, but let them know that it's turnkey. It's quick. It lets you really. It's a portal you would create. It'll automatically create happy customers. You know, it's it's expandable. It works on. So these are the high level stuff, right? This is how to get their attention, maybe right off the bat. What you want to do with that is obviously the login editor, but the control panel lets you do this, right? So when you're in the control panel, you can actually create all these things. You'll be able to actually, manage these whole campaigns and add that value. You got to let your clients know that they do these things anyways, right? So by adding a layer of social media to it, you're able to really expand where they take it. Finding leads. So now that you know kind of high level why a customer needs it, I ran through those as well because you guys have seen those. When it comes to finding leads, it's very, very, very important to know that there is no lack of business and no lack of customers in your area. Those of you who may think, hey, you know what? I don't have business in my area, you are wrong. These are 3 steps how I find leads personally. Step 1, I search on Google. So I have this thing called city plus lead equals need. I'll show you that in just a second. Step 2, I find the top 10 qualified opportunities and I will phone and email them. And step 3, I'll book a meeting, make a demo, and close it. A demo is very as simple as showing a presentation. The stuff that we have in the market in the members area, that's your demo. You actually don't need more than that. You just go in there with what you have. And the low-hanging fruit really makes it easy. I'll show you how to find that right now. And the formula for your first of many sales I will show you as well in these following slides. So to break it down, just to show you exactly how I do it. Step 1 is I have a confession to make. I love Google. You guys have seen my presentations before. You've seen this. I feel a massive love affair with Google because they've made me lots of money. They've made my clients lots of money. They help me look good. They're a gold mine of never-ending leads. The reason is, like I said, I use this thing called city plus need equals lead. And you can try it out yourself. Find like a cleaner in Idaho, or find a surgeon in Beverly Hills, or try a funeral home in Chicago. You'll have a list of hundreds. In each case, hundreds of businesses to call. Now, not all of them may make sense. Now, you want to reference our major markets, the image I showed you earlier, which are the best ones to target. But you simply type this in Google, and literally you're going to see hundreds and hundreds of people you can call. You also want to look at some AdWords trends. So Google Search Data has a lot. There's recently a lot of changes with that. They kind of they switched around their keyword finder. Now it's more of a keyword trends tool. So you can use that as well, but it's no different. You type in city plus need, you type in those combinations. You find the CPC keywords that are high. That will really talk about customers who are spending money, popular locations. I mean, this is more of a technical. I'm starting with this because you guys may have already done this before. So if you've already mined clients or have a list of leads or ever sold anything local, as I'll show you at the end, call those same clients. I mean, that's how you find them to begin with. For SEO, this is what you do, right? I'm looking for SEO clients here, but it's very relevant to the local Wi-Fi network because you're able to sell them social hotspots because they have a location, they understand it, they get it, right? So this is all about layering and adding on. But generally, there's some major things to look for when you're looking for clients specifically interested in Wi-Fi and in social hotspots and that kind of solution. Here's some major things to look for. Now, sometimes previously, and I'll tell you now, when I was selling other local services, even mobile at a certain time, it felt like I was looking for a needle in a haystack. I wasn't able to find anyone who was interested in my stuff, anyone who wanted to buy it. I understood what I was saying. It felt like I was literally looking in the wrong places. And what I'll show you right now is you're going to have some crazy ideas about ways. You're going to have like a list of thousands of clients you can call looking in these places right now. You'll see literally a pile of needles. It'll seem like a needle in a haystack maybe now, but when you run through this, you'll be able to literally have a pile of needles. You got to look who's spending money on advertising, okay? Do a search when you're typing in the city plus need equals lead. If they have an ad there, call them immediately. They understand it, they get it, they're spending money on advertising. You got to see who's active on social media. Anyone who's promoting their Facebook, Twitter page likes social media and would love the idea of customers using social media to access their Wi-Fi connection in their establishment. No brainer. Who's using door stickers as well? A testament to people who get it, quote unquote. People who are engaging their customers on Facebook, on Yelp. People who have QR codes on their front door. They get it. Okay, they understand that, hey, we got to get into the times. We're not going to be writing newspaper ads anymore. We got to start doing social media, that kind of fun stuff. Who's using QR codes? As I just said, anyone who's using it gets it, understands that mobile is where the future is, and mobile and Wi-Fi is to go hand in hand. You got to also look, this is extremely important. Now, I want to spend a couple minutes on this slide because Groupon is probably the biggest opportunity for you guys to go after right now. Anyone who's running a Groupon. And I'll tell you why. As you see here, when I see the daily deal of the day and I look at it on my phone, I'll go to that restaurant. I'll have zero loyalty to that place, typically. Okay, I don't actually buy Groupons anymore. I used to years ago when I was in the business, but it's kind of dying medium, and they know it because this model does not really work anymore. Okay, Groupon is melting down. Andrew Mason got fired. Enough writing on the wall about why this model doesn't work anymore, and it doesn't work because customers come to their your clients' locations, and they'll say, you know what, I'm going to get 2-for-1 Thai food, and I'm going to come there, leave a bad tip for the waitress, and leave, never come back. I'll have zero loyalty. Okay, what if I came in there with my Groupon, and I said, all right, I'm here for the 2-for-1 Thai food, and she said, oh, really? Okay, well, if you log on right now and connect with Wi-Fi, you'll be entered in a chance to win a trip for 2 to Thailand. We give it away at the end of the year. So, however that costs, and that's an extreme example, but maybe not a trip to Thailand. Maybe you get a free spring roll. that would probably even work for me. I'd take a free spring roll just to connect with Wi-Fi to win. Sure, sounds great. All right, but now when I'm in there and I redeem my Groupon, I'm engaged. They know I'm a bargain hunter. They know I'll do things for deals because I just bought this 2-for-1 Thai food coupon. So when I walk in, I'm a prime customer to say, hey, turn on your Wi-Fi to win. And guess what? They now know exactly who I am. And you guys know how that works. They connect with social media. We grab that social data and we keep it for retargeting after the fact. So this is very big. If you guys have ever sold daily deals or ever run any daily deal programs to your clients, call them. If you've ever seen just go to even Groupon now. And actually, it's worth showing you this because I want to stress that these are clients who know the pain, right? These are clients who've seen, as I covered earlier, they know the pain. They're like, oh, my reputation is bad now. Like, I'm like a discount brand. I used to be the best Italian restaurant on the street. Now I'm offering Groupons. Like, what have I come to? So I've heard owners talk about that. And I'm just going to go to Groupon here. And just show you how this works. Just type in New York zip code here. And right away, you're going to see they've even just changed their layout. There's so many places you can call. And obviously, look up your own hometown here and go to Groupon. Go to all deals like health and fitness, or maybe not. Look at automotive. Okay, automotive's huge vertical. Food and drink, huge vertical. Events and activities, massive. Okay, let me just click on events and activities because this is something you can take right now. Look at this. Discover gangs. Any of these, cabaret night at the Metropolitan Room, call them. Rent a bike, maybe at their head office, get one there. Any yoga studio, tons of them. I don't have to read each one. You get the point. Okay, these are thousands of businesses literally that you can call today that would be like, yeah, I'm interested in learning more how I can build a loyalty program and retain my customers who are coming and bargain hunting and never coming back and crippling my business because the Groupon business model should have been illegal in my opinion. But again, call Groupon clients is the message. Also open up the yellow pages. Anyone who is spending money, any big ad that you see here, there's a whole listing of the yellow pages, line by line, white pages style. Anytime you see an ad, like a big box ad, so to speak, in a yellow pages, they're spending money. That costs a lot of money, guys. That costs, I know, because I have some dentists as well that I work with, and one of my uncles actually had a clothing store, and he was so insistent for 35 years. He always put an ad in the yellow pages, and I convinced him one year to stop doing that. And his business stayed steady. And then finally, he was really stubborn. I convinced him to do some mobile marketing. His business exploded. So this kind of thing, right? Business owners just don't know better. They really don't. So go to anyone over here, even a dog salon, as an example here. You come there, you drop your dog off, you're sitting there waiting. Hey, turn on our Wi-Fi. Why not? I like the dog salon. I'll save my data. That kind of thing. So make sure you check the yellow pages, find your vertical. Again, you want to break it down, find verticals that are relevant based on who you know, if you have any friends or family, low-hanging fruit, good leads, follow those hot ones first. So as well, what we've trained to our resellers before is what we call the local marketing epicenter. It's really the mobile marketing epicenter, but this is really everything local. I'm tempted to say almost everything, every local business right now has some kind of digital spend. So here's the map and how kind of it works. So a lot of you work with the external companies around, so like Groupon, like I just mentioned, Yelp, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, like Yelp reviews. Again, we'll cover different ways to utilize the Wi-Fi and make applications out of it. But promoting Yelp, hey, review us on Yelp, turn on your Wi-Fi. Take a picture, post it on Pinterest, turn on your Wi-Fi. Right? Any of these actions can be done with Wi-Fi on location without data and actually incentivize. Now, there's a lot of debate about who can incentivize positive reviews. Now, guys, I want to make something clear. It is not legal, according to Yelp and all those things, to tell a customer, hey, I'm going to give you a free apple pie if you leave us a positive review. Okay? That's not allowed. That's like a bribe. You can't say, leave us a good review and then I'll give you this. What you are allowed to do is say, leave us a review and you're entered to win. Don't say positive. Say, if you enjoyed yourself here, leave us a review and you'll be entered to win. Nothing illegal with that. That's not incentivizing anybody. That's laying out, if you enjoyed yourself, we'd love to hear what you think. Oh, and one lucky person's going to win this. You're not saying leave us a positive review. So I just want to clarify. I saw some confusion in the group earlier. Well, what you can do or not. So again, the local marketing epicenter, what's important to know is that everything's driven in the center by the mobile web, and what Wi-Fi allows you to do, what the local Wi-Fi network and social hotspot allows you to do is take that mobile website that maybe you built for them or that app that you've built for them and keep it at the center of what you're doing. When somebody turns on the Wi-Fi, have them connect with Facebook, then immediately push to that. So if you're selling any m-commerce, any kind of stuff, if you have a menu that you want to promote, anything that you have right now, if you've done any mobile marketing work, tell them this will just help push up their profile and get more people using that mobile property by virtue of them having free access to it with the Wi-Fi. Now that you know how to find clients, there's no lack. Let's qualify the prospects. Let's find out exactly how to qualify them. So you want to look at their current marketing practices. See if they're using QR codes or anything that point to a desktop website. That's specifically for mobile, but you can also use it for Wi-Fi because you can tell people, hey, it's an upsell, right? It's looking for hand in hand. You're looking for that low-hanging fruit way to get in. And you also look at the number of locations. If they have multiple locations, amazing opportunity to set up your network, right? You have a spot at every single location, so you want to call those earlier in the game. You got to also know their key executives. That's why I called early. If you know any friends or family that are key executives, start with them first. They're the easiest ways to get this installed right away. Also, recent company news, if they have a product or service to promote, if they have like a grand opening, don't do a permanent install right away. Say, look, I want to set up the social hotspot at your grand opening. If they have any news, any major events at their AGO or annual general meeting, annual general meeting for public companies, you can set that up too. Big news, have them connect with LinkedIn. It's an awesome option. Google search, see if they're ranked as well. Call them for something and reach out for them for something else. Have that excuse to have the meeting. And Facebook, do they have a fan page? Are they posting anything on it at all? Are they actually engaged on Facebook? And LinkedIn as well. You can search for LinkedIn and find key decision makers all over LinkedIn, find out who they are, what they manage, and all about them. So again, when you're looking at all these opportunities, you have to ask yourself these very key questions. If they have a budget to spend, that's the number one. If they don't have any money to spend with you, don't call them to begin with. You really have to make sure that they have the cash. You find that out by following kind of what I mentioned already. If they're active on social media, if they're active in paid searches, if you see them paying for ads, if they advertise in the yellow pages or on newspaper, and if you see them on a bus stop or on the radio, then they have money to spend. Point blank. They're spending money right now. And as I said, the answer is yes to any of those questions. They are spending money on marketing today. So go out there and get share of that budget. But here's another thing. Here's what I wanted to tell you. Here's another place that you could look. And this is a bunch of great resources. And what I like to call this for Wi-Fi, we did this early, and we are just crushing it. And we don't, like I said, we started, we stopped, right? So we want to see is there opportunity, and then we're not going to target these businesses anymore because we're going to leave that up to you. We are fully understanding that in your area, we will never build the relationships that you are able to leverage in your local area. So what we're doing is we're doing all the hard work, all the research, getting everything together, all the strategy, and telling you how to do it. So here's how we find a gold mine of Wi-Fi leads. These things, you guys have seen them around. You've seen them in my first presentation. They're everywhere, literally everywhere. These little stickers on windows, on doors, promoted all over the place on literally. Does that look familiar to you guys? Have you seen these literally everywhere you go? Because they're popping up more and more. As I showed you the stats, there's more hotspots now than ever before. These are the businesses you want to talk to. Now, you don't want to say, hey, a client already has free Wi-Fi. Why would I offer that? Well, no brainer. They have free Wi-Fi, but it does not work. More often than not, it's unprotected, it's insecure, it has a password, all those reasons we covered earlier. It's great that they get it. They know why UK is, sorry, I was reading something UK is all over. They know why Wi-Fi is important, but they're not doing anything about it. Sorry, they are doing something about it. They know Wi-Fi is important, but they are not leveraging it properly because they have no idea that this social element exists. And here are the resources. Check this out, WiFiFreeSpot.com. Now, don't pull it up right now. I want you guys to stay, keep your attention on the webinar. What I'm going to do is pull these up for you. Okay, I'm just going to pull this up. So this is freewifispot.com. I'm going to share these with you guys as I go. All right, so check it out. I'm going to look at in Maryland. I'm going to go in Maryland and look at this list right away. All right, so Eastport, like this is an unvetted list, but these are local businesses. I could just pick up the phone and call them right now. I know that they're offering free Wi-Fi. Baltimore, and while I'm at it, let me go sell them a mobile website because I can probably tell you that this site is not mobile optimized. And look, they get it. They got some Facebook and stuff. It's over here. Look, they got 2,400 likes. How would you like to tell them that you could take these likes and explode them with your social hotspot? Literally. Tell them this, hey, I know you guys have Wi-Fi. Is it protected? Is it SSL encrypted? How does that work? Can I come see you guys? I have something to show you that's going to blow your mind. And literally, that's where you find them. You find them on this site. You have thousands and thousands of sites here. Literally, thousands of hotspots that you can run through over here. Yes, I will be reviewing pricing today for those who are asking. So yeah, tons of places to go there. That's one resource, WiFiFreeSpot.com. There's also hotspot-locations.com. Now each one's a bit different because they're independent databases. Some of them, as you'll see, even have like apps you can download. So if you're on the road, you can, hey, is there any clients I can call around me? Here we'll show you. This is more of a global one. I can choose a country. Let's say I'm going to choose, United States, state to California, and literally I'll have a hotspot name listed over here. So here's a whole bunch. Third and Bryant. I can even click on the map. It'll show me where they are, who's running it, if it's a private network, if it's not. There we go. So like I map it out. Like I said, you got to look for clients. This is where to look. You can break it down as well further. There's every country in the world listed here. So that's hotspot-locations.com. As well, there's openwifispots.com. Love these domain names. This is another one that you can use. And again, I'll share this with you. This makes it easy, they say. So let me look around in San Francisco, for example. This will actually show me on a map, like, look, if I'm in this area, if I'm going to San Fran, if I live there, if I'm going there on business, these are all clients I can call in advance, go meet with them. Like Honda, maybe a McDonald's, Starbucks, sure, these are public, but there's a lot of private stuff. This one actually shows more commercial, but there's tons of like small businesses, DNA Lounge, like all these businesses you can call, and there are thousands of these, literally. I have somebody sharing here that there's 4.5 million public hotspots in the UK and Ireland. That's insane. That's totally insane. So check these out because you'll be able to find them here. They're all listed. It's not, and this one even has an app, as I said, available in the App Store. Go there, download it. I'm free promotion for these guys, but go there, use it. Not to use the free Wi-Fi, obviously, but to go there and find the business who's already offering free Wi-Fi, who's listed on here, and can take their free Wi-Fi option to something that really adds value. Like I said, there's millions and millions of local businesses currently offering free Wi-Fi hotspots today. Contact them. Call them. All right? Seriously. Pick up the phone and say, hey, I know you have free Wi-Fi. Give me 5 minutes of your time. This is not sales. I'm not going to teach you how to make a cold call on this call today. I think everybody knows how to do that, or how to call and talk to a client. I have other training. If you're interested in that, let me know. I have other training I can share with you that teaches you how to do that. But you got to get in touch with them. You got to have them get it right away. Whoa, you can do that for me? Hold on a second. Yeah, I can carve out 15 minutes of my day to talk to you. No problem. So find out who they are. Really understand who they are. And when you see them, you want to add value. Okay, you don't want to just go there and be like, hey, I got this social hotspot. It's 802.11n. No, they don't. Like I said, they don't care about that. What do they care about? They care about value. And to do that, you have to create what we call a benefit statement. Apologies to those who know what this is. This is kind of elementary, but those who don't, pay very close attention, because this is what will help you get in there and be able to convert your clients quite nicely. So 3 elements of a benefit statement: the introduction, the actual benefit itself, and the close. Think about it like a little sandwich. Okay, the value and the big benefit is in the middle. So a sample benefit statement is this, as you guys have seen this before. So social hotspot is a perfect solution for any business looking to offer a secure internet service to customers using in a user-friendly manner while collecting valuable marketing data for future promotional retargeting campaigns. So you can use that. I don't suggest you use that word for word, because I'll show you in a second how you're going to construct your own, but it all pretty much is the same. You're going to take their internet connection and in a very user-friendly manner allow customers to connect with social media in exchange for marketing campaigns, for analytics, for data, all that fun stuff. So what's the value? You want to show the value to them and say, look, times are changing. As you know, traditional media doesn't work so well. You have to give them the stats. Some of the stats really helps talk about this, the recent trends and changing habits. Talk about the outlining the ROI. Again, very focused on ROI, the opportunity. Look, I'm not in here to install a social hotspot. I'm here to generate more Facebook likes and generate more leads. And whatever you'll pay me, you'll make more. So don't worry about what you pay me, because you're going to make a lot more in return. And you want to identify those pain points. You want to talk to them about the things that kind of irk them. Hey, do you know who your customers are? What age group are the type of people who come here? You'll find the owner, I have no idea. Or I kind of know, but chances are they don't know enough, and they always want to learn more. You also want to show examples, like I said, examples of the demo itself. Once you guys get your units, you can come in there with the unit, set it up. But I don't even recommend that's even required. You can express the whole thing through slides and through imagery. I think is even better. So show them like screenshots, show them kind of how it works. And you want to focus on what they want. Like I said, don't focus on the hotspot itself. Focus on what the result is, what the sizzle is, the nail in the wall. Increase leads, increase sales, and making more money. So all of your conversations should be geared towards whatever you have, call it product X, is going to help them increase leads, increase sales, and make more money. That's all. That's what's important at the end of the day. You want to really help communicate that. So that's the value. That's the middle of it. And then at the end, when you're talking about the close, and this is the close of your benefit statement, you want to do that on a face-to-face meeting, on Skype, or even GoToMeeting as possible. You really want to make sure it's with a decision maker. At the end of the day, you want to make it very specific. It should be like a 15-minute call that you're going to overview and talk to them about the whole value. You want to give the expectation, show some ROI strategies. That's what I'm going to show you momentarily with some of the pricing models and different ways to roll it. You want to give them an A/B option. So say, hey, is it better for us to install it here, or do you want the patio extender as well? And that's, again, if you guys want that kind of sales strategy, come hit me up later. I'll give you some good stuff on that. But you want to give some good options. You want to keep this whole pitch very brief. So in 60 seconds or less, you want to create the anticipation of, look, I'm going to give you this, this, this. When can we meet? I'm going to take a few minutes of your time. Let's do it on GoToMeeting on Skype. And that's your value. Okay, at the beginning, when you're giving the value, you're not going into how it works, right? You're not explaining to them how it works. All you're saying is, here's the value I'm going to bring. Here's the time I need. The close on this initial value proposition is the meeting. Okay, I want you guys to understand that. It's the meeting you get. You're not going to close it on the phone. You're not going to close it remotely. More often than not, you can. It's not impossible. You can do that if you're on GoToMeeting or Skype or Google Plus, Hangout, stuff like that. But more often than not, you have to go in there. You have to pitch and get that value on the phone. That benefit statement is 60 seconds on the phone that gets you the actual meeting. Okay? I think everyone is clear on that. But at the end of the day, when you're in there speaking to them, you want to talk about the value. Like I said, the value is nothing else. The value is growing the customer's database. So when you're there with them, don't talk about the specs on the router. Don't talk about how you're going to set it up and you're going to wire things. No. That's not what matters to the client. It's not what they're going to buy at the end of the day. They're going to buy it because you're going to get valuable customer data. It's all about the data, the names, the email addresses, the gender, hometown, birthday, what the clients like on Facebook, all that social patterns, understanding who's new, who's returning, who their best customers are, who needs a little nudge, who needs a notification to come back. That is where the value lies. So that's where the conversation needs to be focused. When you're speaking to the client, that's what you need to always stress. and obviously the ability to generate thousands of likes in minutes. That's more for large stadiums, but that obviously that's maybe not minutes, but I'd say months or even weeks or days. But definitely, you guys get the point. The value is the data, not so much the hardware. The value is also, again, to stress this, you guys have seen this already, it's the Facebook fans, the customer loyalty, all this great stuff that you'll learn when we show you the campaigning and stuff on day 3, how to actually create the campaigns. That's the value that you bring, the result of all that. You want to get their attention quick, so you want to show them these things right away. Let them know that business owners, obviously, they're really busy. They got 1,000 things going on. What you need to do is grab their attention right away. So let them know those things, and the key is to have them stop what they're doing and listen to you. So the things I just mentioned, those, hey, how do you like to get more Facebook ads? Or how do you like to grow your email list? Or, hey, what if I were to tell you that I could, like just I did the video at the beginning, give them something that they want, get their attention right away, and they'll convert. You also want to engage them, appeal to their emotions, and focus on their needs. So again, these are 3 to recap. These are the slides, like I said, should have been mixed with the other ones I had. That's why some of this may seem a little bit out of order. But generally, you focus on these 3 things. You talk about what I sandwiched in here in the slides about the value that you're going to bring to them, which is more of the real value of the customer and the data, all that stuff, not so much the hardware. That's where the attention needs to be. And you want to do something I didn't coin this at all, but this is spin selling. So SPIN stands for situation, problem, implication, and need. So let's run through this together at a high level. I'm not going to go through in depth on this, but spin selling for Wi-Fi would be, look, situation. Owner, I saw you had a sticker on your front window. I see that you have a free Wi-Fi hotspot. That's the situation, literally. Here's the problem. Your Wi-Fi is open, or it's insecure, or it has a password, or you're getting nothing for it. All right, what's the implication? The implication is you're paying for this Wi-Fi, you're giving it away for free. Either you're letting your customers' data be subject to insecure networks, or you're annoying your customers because they have to enter a password. So what do you need? You need something that allows your customers to seamlessly log in, protect your network, and grow your Facebook list. And that is, so this continues. Then you come back to, all right, now the situation is Wi-Fi is installed, you're building a customer list. What's the problem? I need to communicate with them. What does it imply? I'm not getting enough sales. What's the need? I need to send them notifications. So this, you'll keep circling and you'll keep finding ways to sell your clients more and more and more with this result. If you're interested in more on spin selling, let me know as well, or just search on YouTube. There's some great high-level videos that talk about spin selling strategies. There's 1,001 different things out there that'll teach you how to do this. I don't want to go through. We have so much to cover. I don't want to spend time on the baseline strategy stuff. So another thing you can do is demo your social hotspot. As I said, once you get them in the mail, you'll be able to take it. And I see a lot of you have received them already, so that's great, good news. The other you, hang tight because they will be getting to you shortly. You want to demo your social hotspot if you want, if they ask for it. Like I said, this is not essential. You can get the message across with screenshots and all that stuff, but this is also an option of what you can do. So business models. A lot of you have been asking me about this. Business models. How are you going to run this business? What are ways to make money? So this is all great. Everything I've showed you is all exciting. But how are you going to set up this business? Okay. A lot of you have spent the last week getting involved, getting the marketing materials, building it out, but you're still maybe unsure. You're still looking for ways to think, okay, how am I gonna skin the cat? I don't know if some people don't like that term, but how are you going to peel the apple? I guess. I use a lot of ways to do it. All right. So I'll teach you some ways that we do it. This is a friendly disclaimer. I want to let you guys know that these figures are really just examples, and they're just ideas of ways to make money. We haven't tested all of these, but I'm pretty sure they're going to work. Based on our experience, based on our, my experience, based on our team, we think these are no-brainers. Your clients are just going to eat this up. So here are different business models that you can do. Here are some overview. You guys have seen these before. I'm going to run through each one of these one by one. How to charge for setup and management. How to manage different advertiser relationships, some recommended models. How to create your own local Wi-Fi network. This is another strategy that we started out with that we're just killing it with right now. How to sell social retargeting ads. That we'll actually go through a full course on that on day 4, but we'll talk about high level that. Bundle local marketing services and offer to events. In no particular order, I'm going to run through these right now and show you the different ways that we really position this and sell it to clients. So first of all, there's setup and hardware charges. So multiple ways to do this. A lot of you are already engaged in the members area, and you see that we're going to be posting. I know I mentioned I do it on day one. It will be coming today. You'll have the option to purchase additional hardware. We'll have all of that posted. But you can make a lot of money off the sale of hardware itself. And we're starting with this as probably the lowest level of margin for you. Because as you know, we're selling the hardware at a very slim margin. You could also sell it at a slim, if not higher one. But don't think about this as each individual. Now, I maybe made a mistake to break these up. Don't break these up, okay? When you sell this to a client, sell it as a package, okay? It's not like I'm going to do this and then that and that. Sell it as a full package, as a full done for you, and I'll show you how this comes together in a second. But you can break these down in a couple of ways. You can sell the hardware itself. So you can buy social hotspots from us, resell them to your client at a margin. And I apologize, the margins are big. You can tell a client it costs $500. They'll still pay you for it, even though you're going to get them from us for less than $100 a pop, even less if you buy in bulk. But you'll easily be able to upsell it right away as a piece of hardware on that level, because it is different than most routers. It is actually it provides a service. It's a little bit different. You can also lease equipment. So this is an interesting model that a lot of other businesses use. I know that I lease my water heater. I don't want to spend money on a full one. I lease it every month. So here's something you can do for your clients that will also work. So take it to your client. Say, look, I have the social hotspot, and you don't have to pay me $500 up front. Pay me like $20 a month, and you'll lease it. All right, and you can keep it. And everyone does this. Cable boxes. If you guys lease equipment right now, type it in. Just type in yes. If you're engaged on the chat, a lot of people are typing a lot. So just type in yes if you currently lease equipment. No different. You ask any business owner, are they leasing equipment? More often than not, it's yes. They're leasing a washer, dryer, oven, fridge, whatever. They're paying a monthly fee, and the leaser, the person who owns the equipment, is laughing to the bank because they are just leasing it out. So tell the client, look, this is a $1,500 value. Don't pay me right away. I don't expect that. But pay me every month. When you stop paying me, I'm going to take my hardware back because, it's just the way it works. But lease it to them. You'll end up spending, you'll make a lot more money in the long run, depending obviously how you model it. But you want to lease that to them. It's also an option when you're putting together your different packages. You also want to sell them on installation. So installation is literally going in there, surveying the scene, installing the actual hotspot, wiring the hotspot if you have to install a patio extender. We'll show you how to do all of that on the days that we talk about the install stuff. But the installation, the wiring, the signal testing, going around and making sure that their signal is strong, making sure that it hits all the little pockets of their restaurant or their bar or their event, all that stuff is a service. All right, again, I'm going to compare this to traditional stuff. A water heater, I lease it, I pay somebody to come in and check it. You don't have a problem if it breaks or I got to do something. I also pay them, to install it. I pay them to install it, okay? I don't just get it. They don't install it for free. I pay them to drill a hole, to do the exhaust, to pipe it all in, to get the gas all made. That's stuff, right? I got to pay for that. And he positioned all this as a service, all right? So the installation is not a hardware. It's not a router. It's a full service. What I'm going to do is turn your location into a social hotspot. You can even use the term, right? Don't use it in your company name, as you'll see in a second, but use it in your service. Position this all as a service and charge them for it. Here's some recommended pricing, and again, we are going to be breaking these down by vertical, because I know these are like one size fits all. These are estimated fees. So these are estimated fees that we can say, bundling everything I just showed you right now, the social hotspot setup, whether you lease it or not, you can actually bring this into the mix. You can install it, you lease it, or add an additional setup fee or a hardware cost if you want to add that. Now, depending if you're adding reporting, I'm going to run through each one of these in the following slides, but you can offer them so many things and give them different packages to choose from. And like I said, these are all estimates only. We will be breaking these down for individual verticals. We'll be doing case studies, one specific for a restaurant, one specific for a dentist, one specific for a lawyer. Like I said, be patient with us because obviously we're getting all this together. So in the coming weeks, we'll have it for you. If anyone actually wants to be proactive and get some of this together, start sharing it in the Facebook group. You can bounce it around in a whole bunch of people. And then what I'll do is get my team to take that content and make it look beautiful. And